Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. This is week 44 of Spotlight on Success, and I'm Dr. Rhonda Farrell, the success strategist and the CEO of Global Innovation Strategies. Today, we are going to talk about Agile and Lean methods and the 5 different factor areas that you as a solopreneur, entrepreneur, business leader need to be focused on to help grow your organization 10 to 25x. So the first area of Agile and Lean is it spun up on the methodologies, on the frameworks, how you can leverage this not only for technological rollouts, but services and your own business models. Take just a couple minutes and and I advise Googling or using your favorite AI tool to spin yourself up on the framework overall, how it can be harnessed for each of those uses, and what aspect of it might be most important to you. So oftentimes we hear about Agile and Lean as really helping us get an organization to greater efficiencies, effectiveness, productivity, cost savings with higher level quality, cohesion, etc., across the system or software development lifecycle. But it's just as useful if we examine it for how we can upgrade the culture within our own organizations to gain access to higher quality, higher performing, more service oriented teams, leaders, and constructs. And so I want to approach it from both of these angles today so that you understand how to leverage it to its extent, the fullest extent possible. There is a really safe Agile. If you look at that model online, you'll find that some of the core principles focus more on best practices, principles, and the cultural adaptation of your organization so that there's a state of a readiness to be able to take on the next step in the process, the next step in the process, the next step in the process, because really what you're going to be helping your organization through is a rapid adoption through cultural acclimation, through continuous improvement in innovation using these framework methodologies and best practices. And so it's a phased maturation approach, just like quality, just like services, just like innovation, right? You need to think about it as we can't go from 0 to 100 in one short time cycle. We're going to need to chunk our effort into various phases. We're going to have to resource and fund appropriately. Although, early stage, some of these things are free. It's more about awareness and initial engagement versus deep dives, large scope retooling and retraining. That can, if you so choose, come later. The most important things is driving awareness of the what, the how, the who, and the approach so that you gain some semblance of a readiness and cohesion as you look to then scale and scope going forward. So huge with regard to rapid market adaptation, right? Agile methodologies, they are all about flexibility, responsibilities, quick adaptation. And Agile, from a framework and approach standpoint, is all about iterations. It's about iterative cycles where you roll out products and or services in stages. Or if you are looking at your business model or additional business models, It too is iterative. You're going to gather feedback internally, externally. You're going to make real-time adjustments. You're going to help reduce the risk of launching product, service, model, whatever, by ensuring that what you're fielding resonates with your population, stakeholders, et cetera, that you're serving. Again, some of these can be internally focused because we can do the same thing here with a change effort, with a maturation effort, with an innovation effort, et cetera. Then we can, if we are focused on a product or a service portfolio or features and functionality, and we're working with our stakeholders to gauge resonance and reaction. From a lean perspective, right, we're going to be in this rapid market adaptation. We're going to be focused on removing waste throughout that cycle, right? We're going to be looking at that innovative portfolio funnel so that entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, business leaders can streamline their processes around this area so that they can pivot more efficiently and effectively. This is especially crucial when market demand shifts suddenly and entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, and business leaders and or others, partners, right, need to adapt their offerings without overextending resources. So we're going to, I don't want to say we're going to go light, but we're going to go lighter than we necessarily would. We're going to put in place some key KPIs, OKRs, targets, and we're going to be doing real-time adjustments with regard to, are we on course, are we off course? So we have an arbiter, which is our targets and our actual versus expected findings, where we're going to go. Are we on course? Are we off course? Are we on course? Are we off course? And we're going to pivot very quickly to realign, or we're going to learn that the assumptions that we used were either dated, incorrect, or incomplete, which often happens as we gather more data and more evidence and more findings about actual versus expecting on the best path forward. So we will need to pivot quickly. The next is really about efficient resource utilization. And here, from an agile perspective, we're going to encourage prioritization and breaking down large projects into manageable tasks. Oftentimes, solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, and business leaders can benefit from using this methodology because it helps them focus on delivering the most valuable parts of the project first, right? When you look at scaled agile and other like methodologies, you're putting not only a project or a program tag of value, if you will, you're looking at it from the overall business portfolio value. And so you're keeping these two things in tandem to help you prioritize resource and finance most effectively going forward. It also helps you keep budgets under control and focusing on results that can be iterated upon consistently, right? So again, going back to that continuous improvement, continuous innovation, harnessing resources and understand, right? Not all resources are created equal, people and technology and or process, right? So this too may be a part of our iterative cycle with regard to swapping in or out personnel and or harnessing them in different roles and responsibilities and or using or utilizing different processes and technologies. Again, in this area is lean principles. We want to be looking at just-in-time production. We want to look at managing inventory, minimizing waste, keeping costs down, applying lean thinking so that our entrepreneur and business leader stakeholders can ensure that each activity directly contributes to value and that you're optimizing every dollar spent, right? So really focusing on the optimization of the funding as well as the ROI from the application of that particular resource. Continuous improvement. We have two focuses again. In Agile, the retrospective phase after each sprint, where we reflect on what went well and what can be improved. Some people might know this as lessons learned. Some people know this as PDCA or PDSA. Some people know this as post-mortems, right? It really depends on the world that you come from, the label that you put on. But the more important thing is that you're actually doing this. Continuous improvement and continuous innovation both happen at the stage when we ascertain expected versus actual. We understand the gap and we understand, is there an opportunity to scale? Again, 10x to 25x, right? So every iterative cycle, we have the opportunity not to plateau, but to summit that particular phase. And that's exactly what we're looking to do. In the lean focus, we are focusing on Kaizen, continuous improvement. We can also use Kaizen from an understanding of what's being experienced and thinking outside the box so that we can get to continuous innovation, which can be disruptive in nature, right? So we can utilize it for both purposes. In one case, we're looking at very small, consistent changes to enhance quality and efficiencies. In the other case, we're looking at that leapfrog moment where we are moving to the next level of disruption for our field, for our industry, for our organization. So we can either steadily build a better product or service and refine our processes, or we can examine, if we look beyond the scope or field of this particular problem or challenge, what is the next dimension challenge or opportunity that we actually could be reaching for? And do we have the vision, and do we have the data, and do we have the right team to be able to take us there? Fourth is enhanced customer value and satisfaction. So again, looking at it versus an Agile Lean, Agile is going to help us prioritize customer collaboration over contract negotiation, meaning that it's not going to be a one and done. The customer signs the contract, we engage with them with regard to the requirements, we answer the mail, and then we move along the line of our, what traditionally and old style would be a waterfall approach to meeting their requirements, product and or service wise, right? This is going to be much more iterative, much more co-creation with our clients, and where we want to be super responsive with regard to feedback and engaging them real time so that we know, again, are we on course, off course, on course, off course? Does this resonate? Does this, we need to show that we're answering the mail with regard to requirements, yes, but we can do that in very co-creative design, innovative ways so that we're ensuring we build buy-in at every step of the way, and ensures that the final product meets our real needs, right? Because sometimes the initial needs isn't the final needs. We are building the relationship. We're constantly enhancing satisfaction, and we're building loyalty and buy-in along the way. On the lean side, we're really focusing and emphasizing on delivering only what's necessary, right? So we're cutting out all of the fluff. We really want our solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, and business leaders to focus on the core features or services that the customers value the most. And we are going to prune out anything that doesn't add immediate value to that iteration, right? So really, we're using Pareto's rule here, right? We're going to go for the 80%, the 20% of the activities that offer 80% of the ROI, that answer the mail for the greatest amount of value, and we're going to prune out all of the rest. In the last area, scalability and long-term growth. This is really where both Agile and Lean methodologies offer a mindset of scalability, because we want to start small. We don't want to take on the whole enchilada at one time. We want to iterate. We want to grow our business sustainably without taking on excessive risks. We want to ensure that the structures that we're using in Agile and Lean enables us to explore complexity over time, and with Lean, that the growth is efficient, profitable, and strategically aligned with customer needs. So for solopreneurs and entrepreneurs, Agile and Lean methodologies offer a balanced approach that allow us to act with flexibility and purpose. This balance fosters both resilience and innovation, ultimately enabling our entrepreneurs and business leaders to build a business that's not only profitable, but is adaptable and customer-centered. So again, this is Dr. Rhonda Farrell bringing you week 44 of Spotlight on Success, Agile and Lean Methods. We hope that we have been able to offer you value, and we are more than happy to walk with you as you progress down your journey of ultimately scaling 10 to 25x, no matter what size or organization type you belong to today. Again, Dr. Rhonda Farrell, the success strategist, the CEO of Global Innovation Strategies, reached to me at CEO@GBLINNOVstrat.LLC.com to see how we can help drive your further success today. Till next week.